Look at these colors. This is how you cook the perfect steak.
Every time I don't know what to cook or make for dinner, I always come to the same answer: steak. It's just so delicious and satisfying, and you really need no more than 10 minutes or even less sometimes. That makes a perfect choice for a delicious and quick meal. There are a couple of things you have to consider while cooking it, and today we'll go through this process together. First, let's look what ingredients we need: steak, butter, some spices. You want to make sure that your steak is thick, and by thick I mean really thick, something like 3 centimeters at least. You can choose whatever cuts of steak you like, it's up to you, but ribeye, which has a bigger fat content, makes the meat tender and tasty, so for me it's just the king of the steaks. But you can choose other cuts like T-bone, sirloin or ribeye. Now we are ready to cook it. Take an iron cast pan and heat it on a medium high heat. If you are a steak fan, you should definitely have an iron cast pan to cook your steak. If you treat them good, they will outlive you and they will make the best crust on the surface on your steak. I will put 2 links in the description for 2 types of iron cast pans that I used and I really like. Let's start with the most important tip I'm gonna give you today. Take your steak out of the fridge and let it rest at room temperature for at least 30 minutes. You don't want the inside of your meat to be cold when the outside is crunchy and delicious. Now add some cooking fat to your pan, and when your pan is smoking hot, you're gonna add your steak. You can tell when it's the right moment when the fat is moving around the pan pretty easily. More importantly, you should hear this sound. If you are like me and you like your steak medium to medium rare, you're gonna sear your steak for 2-3 minutes on both sides, so that you get a nice brown crust. When you flip the steak, after 30 seconds, add some butter, 3 garlic cloves left in their skin and 1 bunch of thyme and sage. Let the butter melt and baste your steak for another 2 minutes or so until you reach your desired doneness. This is completely optional because a steak is already good enough by itself, but you can do it if you want to add some extra flavor to it. This is another secret to the perfect steak. Baste and baste and baste with butter, nothing can go wrong with that. When the steak is cooked, remove it from the pan, put it on a cutting board and let it rest for 5 minutes or so before cutting. It's really that easy, and if you follow those guidelines, you too can become a steak master. And don't be discouraged if you fail at the first tries. As the old saying goes, practice makes perfect.
Still juicy in the inside and crunchy on the outside. Let's make the test now. This is so tender. It literally like butter. In your mouth, it melts like butter.
If you learned something from this video, don't be shy and leave a like for the algorithm.